Всем привет! Меня зовут Камила. Я учитель русского языка из Азербайджана. Я носитель русского языка. Today we will continue our topic about the gender of the nouns and add here the gender of the adjectives. And this video is for intermediate speakers or those who wants to be an intermediate speaker in Russian. So, here we will add some exceptions or some points to our last video. You can see it on my channel. The video is genders for level A. And today we'll continue. So what are our additions to the nouns? First of all, today we'll speak about the nouns which ends with мягкий знак. What the bad point about this is that there is no any concrete rule how to determine the gender of these words. They can be feminine and they can be masculine. Like some of them are feminine and some of them are masculine. But there are some common patterns which will help you to determine that the word is masculine. For example, professions, which ends with мягкий знак. They're, for example, учитель, строитель, писатель, and so on. They're the name of the month, январь, февраль, апрель, all which ends with мягкий знак, all of them are masculine. Some words which, like all words which ends with арь, for example, словарь, as an example here. But most of them you will learn just by speaking, during the speaking, and this practice. Also here I want to add two words which ends with mя and they are neuter. We know that from the first video we know that the words which ends with ya are feminine, but there are several words which ends with mя and they are neuter. And for the B level, just two of them is quite enough for you. They are время and имя. You have to know that they are not feminine, they are neuter. That's all about nouns, about the gender of the nouns, what you should know at the B level. And now, let's switch to the adjectives. So, what about the gender of the adjective in Russian? First of all, you should know one very important point about the difference of gender of the noun and gender of the adjective. This difference is that the noun has a gender. For example, noun is masculine gender, is feminine gender, is neuter gender, like дом is masculine, квартира is feminine, and окно is neuter. And it never changes. Never. But the adjective changes from masculine to feminine to neuter because of the noun it refers to. So for example, in Russian, let's take a very common word like красивый. I think all you know this word is beautiful. And красивый can be in masculine, feminine, and neuter, and it will change its endings because of the gender. So the word красивый does not have any gender at all. It changes from one gender to another gender. So it depends on who is красивый. Is the man красивый, like мужчина красивый? Or is the woman beautiful? Женщина красивая. Or, for example, any window is beautiful. Окно красивое. So you hear in these three examples, you hear the word красивый with three different endings. Красивый for masculine, красивая for feminine, and красивое for the neuter. But it's just one word in three different forms because of genders in Russian. So that's why you have to know, you have to learn the genders in Russian, genders of the noun, because many other rules will be connected to the gender of the noun, like adjective, like the past form of the verbs, and so on. Very many issues, very many topics really connects to this topic, to this rule. So let's repeat again. For the masculine, for adjectives, we have the endings ih or i. Красивый, синий. For example, красивый мужчина, синий мяч. For the feminine, we will have the endings ая or яя. It consists of two letters. The endings of the nouns will consist of one letter, and the endings of the adjectives consist of two letters, and as you see, they are very similar. If you remember, the nouns had letter a or letter ya, and the adjectives in feminine has the letters ая, яя. Красивая женщина. For example, синяя подушка. And for the neuter gender is also similar endings. If you remember, the nouns had the letter O or the letter Y at the end, but the adjective, you can guess, had the letters OY, Y at the end. For example, красивое окно, синее одеяло. Красивое окно, синее одеяло are our examples. So after learning this rule, try to translate these expressions in Russian and write your answers in the comment. Удачи вам!